Jessica Anderson from Anderson Kusher, another fun edition of the Love Court in session. Kind of a tricky one involving a couple that has joint custody of their kids.
Yeah. Hi, Jessica. I read through the other questions and answers regarding custody and visitation, and I didn't see anything regarding this. Here's my situation. I've been trying to finalize my divorce with my ex for over 2 years now. That's an entirely different issue. In the original court motion, it was established that we would move to 50-50 custody. That began in April of 2020. In August 2020, he hastily up and moved out of state over 1,000 miles away. I now have our daughters full-time. I've tried to work with him to arrange visitation. However, he's insisting that I pay for it or at least pay half of it. I don't feel that this is fair or right as he made the choice to move. He had a job here and had just bought a house and has no family where he moved. I also now have our daughters full-time and have to pay with all that is involved in that. I've tried looking up Nevada statutes. I can't find anything. I'm trying to understand the issues surrounding this before the next court appearance next month. So now that he's moved out of state, regardless of what their paperwork says, he no longer has joint physical custody. So mom is the primary physical custodian. And not only should he be paying like the full statutory amount of child support, he should also be responsible for the visitation expenses because he's the one that decided to move away.
Right.
Now, it's possible that the court will give him a downward deviation in child support due to the increased cost of visitation, but he'll need to argue that in court and establish that there's a need for that. I mean, if he's financially well off, there may not be a need to give him a deviation. So it's not automatic. In addition to child support, he should be paying for one half of the health insurance costs, one half of the agreed upon extracurricular activities, and one half of all out-of-pocket medical expenses. Mm-hmm. So she shouldn't be left on the hook to pay for everything that raising a child entails just because their paperwork currently says joint physical custody. That's not what they have because he's no longer here.
And he should have worked all this out before he left. I mean, it sounds like he left himself not a leg to stand on. Like he's just like hoping for the best at this point.
Yeah, and, I've had this come up a couple times. Sometimes, especially in this climate, when you get a good job offer, you don't really have time to file a motion and deal with the court part of it. I can understand that part.
We know that parents who have full custody of the children, don't they have to get permission from the other parent to move? Is it the same way around for the other parent who doesn't have full custody?
No, that only has to do with the child moving. A parent has free will. You can move wherever you want to. You just can't take your child out of state, move your child out of state without the other parent authorization or court authorization. But we can't. The court can't restrict an adult's movement. It's a free country. You do what you want. But the consequence, obviously, is you can't take your children with you if you're in a custody situation.
How crazy is that?
Is there no penalty for let's just say he went about it that way and just kind of left his kids? Well, I guess that is what he did. Is there no penalty from the courts for just not asking the court if you could do? I mean, you said he could do it, but I would think that they would frown upon it.
We frowned upon it morally.
Good point.
Obviously, his relationship with his children is not going to be the same if he just ups and moves and leaves. But that doesn't sound like that's what happened here. I mean, he moved, but he wants visitation, and they're trying to work that out. And I assume that whatever is happening, coming up at the next court appearance is going to come up with some sort of plan for that. So, just because he moves, it doesn't mean he doesn't love his children. I don't know what the circumstances are. It's good that mom is working with him on establishing visitation. That's her duty as the primary custodian, but she should not be left holding the financial bag. He needs to step up in that way, no matter what. So that's my advice on that.
All right.
And I also want to say,
go
really
ahead.
quick, guys, I got a couple of different questions this week. I got several, so we don't have time to deal with all of them. So if I didn't get to your question, I'll get to it next week. So I just want to let people know that.
You're so awesome.
Very cool. If you ever have questions for Jessica, we have a portal available for you on our website at alice965.com. Click on Jessica, and like she says, she responds to every single question she gets. And